Hello, BookTube. This is the Scholar Gentleman here. Just there we go. I'm just going to give you a little look, a little intro look for the backdrop of this book report. Little view of New Hampshire in the autumn. Just to get you in the mood. There. Today, my book report is on Halloween by Curtis Richards. It's a novelization of the actual film, and it's been out of print for 40 years until Printed in Blood. They're a boutique type of printing press devoted to horror fans and aficionados. They've done the Thing picture book, the Halloween picture book, which is sold out. You can only get on eBay for like hundreds of dollars. Anyway, this is a novelization of the movie, the classic movie directed by John Carpenter. And I'm going to say this right now. If you have any interest in film at all, you really need to watch Halloween, because it set the template for, the modern slasher movie, but without all the gore. The gore came later, but that set the template for it. And it's just excellently done. Great use of shadow. Dean Cundey is the cinematographer, art director. I forget his actual director of photography. There you go. And his movies, every movie he does, he has a great eye for the color and the darkness and how they both contrast against each other. And for a movie like Halloween, it's perfect. But anyway, the book itself is a pretty straightforward adaptation of the movie. I remember reading it a lot when I was reading it 3 or 4 times when I was a kid. It was an 80s paperback type thing. I got it and I lent it to a friend, and then the friendship ended and I've lost it. But then again, it got reprinted in this format, and I have to show you a couple of illustrations here, some really good ones. I mean, the art is just stunning, so that's like a nice little bonus. But I mean, reading the book took me right back to the story, and with one major difference. It gives Michael Myers a little backstory as to why he has the supernatural ability not to die. Apparently, way back in Celtic times in ancient Ireland, the village idiot, the village cripple, whatever you want to call him, with a gnarled arm, he fell in love with the chieftain's princess, but of course she, loved another chieftain's son, and they were the beautiful it couple and everything like that. He approached Deidre was her name. Approached Deidre, hoping to win her heart, and she laughed at him because he's a freak, he's a cripple, part of their culture. So of course that really hurt him. And during the harvest festival, this guy basically took a knife and killed them both during the harvest festival. So the chieftain, the father of the daughter, cursed that guy's soul so that it would wander the earth forever. And that's why we get this spirit jumping generations, and it ended up in Michael Myers' family. And that's what happened. The voices in his head got louder and the dreams got more vivid when he killed his sister on Halloween 1963. Just Judith Myers is there, combing her hair after getting a quickie with her boyfriend, and in comes Michael with his clown suit on, basically fillet her to death. And that's where the story starts. Michael he's in a sanitarium for 15 years until he decides to get out and go trick-or-treating again. And it's just a good read. You get into the head of Laurie Strode, the character who, is the main final girl in this particular story. Yeah, Curtis Richards is actually a pretty decent writer. He just, with unfussy prose, he just gets into the head of every person he needs to get into, like little Tommy Doyle when he's being picked on, even in Michael Myers' head when he needs to get into. Everyone gets a look in, from the omnipotent author's viewpoint. And yeah, reading it really, really took me back, and it's appropriate for the time. It's appropriate for the time of year. The thing that bugs me though is I wanted to read the novelization to Halloween 2. I had that as that's another one I lost in that friendship. and it's on the Internet Archive. And I went to go read it, and now suddenly the Internet Archive doesn't want to let people log in anymore. So I was going to happily read that. It's written by Jack Martin, a nom de plume of the great Dennis Etchison, a well-known horror writer. And basically, it continues the story just like the movie does. Laurie goes to the hospital after the attack, and Michael follows her and leaves even more bodies in his wake. Because with a sequel, you got to have carnage candy. And by the time Halloween 2 came out in 1980, all the gross out stuff was normal, so there's plenty more of that in that movie. But it's still a pretty decent sequel, as sequels go. So yeah, and I haven't even seen any of those yet, and it's almost Halloween. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this book report. We'll speak to you soon.